What if I told you that everything they taught you to fear was designed to keep you quiet? Not safe, not strong, just quiet, obedient, predictable. They dressed fear in nice suits. They called it manners, respect, order. They told you to follow the rules, keep your head down, don't ask too many questions. And you, like most people, nodded, smiled, and swallowed the lie. But deep inside you, something screamed. A wild voice, a fire. You felt it before. At 2 a.m., when you're staring at the ceiling, wondering why your life feels like a cage. At work, when you're dying inside pretending to care about things that don't matter. At dinner with people you hate, playing the perfect role just to fit in. That scream, that's the real you. And it's tired of being silenced. Let me ask you this. Who benefits when you fear everything? Who wins when you doubt yourself? Obey blindly and question nothing. Not you. Never you. Fear was designed, constructed, sold to you like a drug. And you bought it. We all did. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of being judged. But here's the secret. Fear doesn't protect you. It controls you. You were never born afraid. You were taught to be. And now, it's time to unlearn. Question everything. Burn their rules. Smash their pretty little systems that keep you asleep. Let the world call you crazy, reckless, dangerous. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to break free. And this is not just motivation. This is rebellion. This is your permission slip to destroy the fake version of yourself and build something real. Because when you fear nothing, you become unstoppable. Let me break something to you. Real calm-like, a fearless human is dangerous. Not because they hurt others, but because they see through the lies, see through the fake smiles, see through the systems designed to turn lions into lapdogs. You see, society doesn't want you strong. It wants you tame, because if you ever wake up, truly wake up, you'll start asking the kind of questions that shake foundations. Why do I hate my job? Why am I told I'm not good enough unless I buy more stuff? Why is normal life so soul-killing? They don't want those questions. They want sheep, comfortably numb, predictable, profitable. So, what do? They pump fear into your bloodstream like anesthesia. Fear of failure, fear of standing out, fear of speaking up, fear of your own power. Because a confident man is annoying, but a chaotically confident one, a man who doesn't just walk against the current, but dances in the flood, he's ungovernable. Let me introduce you to chaotic confidence. It's not the clean, pretty, buttoned-up confidence they sell in self-help books. It's raw. It's dangerous. It laughs at rejection. It mocks expectations. It walks into a boardroom in a hoodie and flips the table because no, actually, I don't care what you think. Chaotic confidence is what happens when your soul gets tired of being polite. It's the Joker lighting a cigar in a courtroom. It's a kid laughing while everything burns around him. Because finally, he's free. When you're chaotically confident, people don't know what to do with you. They can't label you. They can't control you. So they fear you. And that's when you win. Because when they fear you, they can't cage you. That's why they need you afraid. Because your chaos terrifies them. Because your freedom exposes their chains. So here's your choice. Be the well-behaved puppet in someone else's show, or be the glitch in their matrix, the spark in their gas tank, the storm they'll never predict. You weren't born to play nice. You were born to disrupt. You were born wild, untamed, unfiltered, raw. A child doesn't fear the world. It touches fire, climbs trees, asks a million questions. It doesn't care about being judged, doesn't follow rules, it doesn't understand. Then what happens? They teach you fear, little by little. Don't do that. It's dangerous. Stop asking questions. That's rude. Be quiet. Be normal. Be nice. And the more you obeyed, the more they smiled. The more you silenced your instincts, the more they said, "Good job." And just like that, You learned that safety means silence, that love means obedience, that being accepted means being smaller, quieter, less. That's the system. That's the scam. But here's the secret Joker. Never forgot. You can unlearn it all. He never swallowed the pill they gave him. He bit down on it, grinned, and spat it right back in their faces. And now it's your turn. You want to be free? You want to be dangerous again? You have to unlearn. Unlearn the fear of judgment. Because the people judging you, they're more broken than you'll ever be. Unlearn the obsession with success. Because chasing their version of success is how they keep you leashed. Unlearn the guilt they put on your shoulders for wanting more, for being different, for not fitting in. They raised you to be a puppet. Now it's time to cut the strings. Start small. Say no when you're expected to say yes. Speak when they tell you to be quiet. Walk away when you're supposed to sit and smile. Every rebellion starts with a whisper. Every revolution begins with a decision. I'm not playing by your rules anymore. You weren't born to be polite. You were born to be powerful. And here's the truth they never wanted you to hear. You don't owe this world anything. Not your silence, not your obedience, not your smile. Burn the script. Write your own chaos. They told you pain is something to run from. They lied. Pain is not your enemy. It's your origin story. Every scar on your soul, it's proof you survived. Every betrayal, a lesson. Every loss, a sharpening stone. But they don't want you to know that. They want you to numb it, drown it in distraction, sedate it with fake smiles and pretty filters. Because if you ever stopped running from your pain, if you ever faced it, you'd realize what it truly is. Fuel. You see, Joker never ran from pain. He made it his punchline. He laughed through the chaos. Not because it didn't hurt, but because he owned it. You don't get to control your past, but you damn sure get to control what it turns you into. So what are you gonna do with all that suffering? Bury it? Drink it away? Hide it under a perfect Instagram story? Or will you weaponize it? Let every betrayal become your clarity. Let every heartbreak forge your focus. Let every failure sharpen your edge. Because power doesn't come from comfort. It comes from chaos. Let me tell you a secret. The strong already know. The world respects scars more than smiles. Anyone can smile. But a scar? That's a story. That's pain survived. That's war won, so don't cover your scars. Expose them. Let them shine like medals. Let them speak for you when words fail. I've been through hell and came back laughing. That's Joker power. That's chaotic resilience. That's the kind of strength they can't sell, can't steal, and can't understand. And when they look at you and say, "You've changed," you look back, smile, and whisper, "Damn right I have." They taught you to care too much about what others think, about fitting in, about being nice. But here's the truth. The more you care about pleasing everyone, the less you live for yourself. The world doesn't need another polite puppet. It needs a wildfire. That's what Joker understood. He stopped giving a damn and started living. Not because he was evil, but because he realized this. Approval is a cage. When your self-worth depends on how others see you, you become their prisoner. Their validation controls your freedom. Their opinions write your script. So what happens when you stop caring? You stop waiting for permission. You stop explaining yourself. You stop asking, do they like me? Is this okay? Will they judge me? You start moving. Start building. Start living. The moment you stop giving a damn, your voice gets louder. Your steps get stronger. Your presence gets heavier. Because nothing weighs more than a soul that's finally free. You think not caring makes you cold? No, it makes you real. You stop wasting energy on people who wouldn't bleed for you. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You stop apologizing for your fire. The world will call you arrogant. Too much. Too intense. Let them call you names. Twist your words. Mock your chaos. That's their job. Your job? To burn anyway. You don't need to be understood. You need to be authentic. You don't need to be liked. You need to be true. They built a world where nice people get walked on and rebels get erased. But guess what? Legends aren't born from politeness. They're born from rebellion. So stop waiting to be liked, be remembered. Because the ones who don't give a damn, they're the ones who rewrite history. Everyone wants control, plans, schedules, guaranteed. But here's the brutal truth. Life is chaos. It rains on your wedding day. People you trust stab you in the back. The job you gave everything to lets you go without a second thought. Control? It's a pretty illusion sold to keep you calm. But Joker? He didn't chase control. He danced with chaos. He didn't fear the unexpected. He thrived in it. Because he understood something most people never do. Chaos is not your enemy. It's your ally. If you know how to move with it, think about it. The strongest storms create the most powerful waves. The most unpredictable situations birth the most fearless leaders. When you resist chaos, it crushes you. When you embrace it, it carves you into something unstoppable. Stop trying to force order on everything. Stop trying to figure it all out. Start listening to the madness. Start trusting the instincts that don't make sense on paper, but feel like fire in your bones. Let go of the need for constant stability. Because in chaos, you grow. You become sharper. You become adaptable. You become dangerous. When you dance with chaos, you don't break. You bend. You don't panic. You perform. You don't shatter, you shine. Joker never needed the world to be stable. He needed it to be alive, unpredictable, raw, real. So here's your new mantra. Don't control chaos. Command it. Walk into the unknown like it's your playground. Smile when the plan falls apart. Laugh when things get messy. Because you're not here to play it safe. You're here to set the rules, on fire and dance in the ashes. The storm isn't coming. You are the storm. The rules were never made for you. They were made to contain you, to shrink you, to keep you in line. Who wrote these rules anyway? Work a job you hate until you die. Smile even when you're breaking inside. Fit in. Follow the crowd. Don't stand out. That's not life. That's a slow death, with polite applause. You weren't born to follow their script. You were born to burn it. Joker didn't just disobey the rules, he rewrote the whole damn game. Not because he was crazy, but because the world around him was. So what do you do when the system is broken? You don't fix it. You replace it. You build something new from your own chaos, your own code, your own terms. You don't wait for permission. You don't ask for acceptance. You create your own rules of engagement. And here's the thing, they'll hate you for it. They'll say you're reckless, arrogant, dangerous. Good. That means it's working. Let me ask you this. Who decides what's too much? Who says your dream is unrealistic? Who made them the authority on your life? The truth is, they didn't earn that power. You gave it to them. But now, it's time to take it back. Start writing your own rules. Wake up when you want. Create instead of conform. Speak truth even if your voice shakes. Turn no into your battle cry. Turn you can't into your fuel. Turn every closed door into firewood. You're not a player in their game anymore. You're the architect of a whole new world. This is your revolution. And it doesn't need to be loud. It just needs to be real. One rule at a time. You take your life back. One fire at a time. You light up the path. They said you couldn't. Prove them wrong with silence, success, and scars that shine. Remember, legends aren't remembered for following rules. They're remembered for rewriting them. They'll call you the villain, not because you hurt anyone, but because you stopped obeying, because you stopped apologizing for your ambition, because you stopped fitting into their small, comfortable boxes. You see, society fears what it can't control. And when you break free, when you build your own path, when you speak loud, live big, and stop pretending, they panic. You don't become the villain by doing evil. You become the villain by doing what they're too scared to do. Keep your mind. Take up space. Refuse to settle. Refuse to shrink. They'll say you're arrogant. selfish, toxic, too intense. But here's the truth. Sometimes being the villain is the only way to be the hero of your own story. Because the world has enough people playing nice, enough people staying small, enough people killing themselves slowly just to be accepted. You weren't born to be liked. You were born to be legendary. And legends, they don't beg for approval. They don't wait for permission. They take the punches. They walk through fire. They build empires from ashes. So when they paint you as the villain, smile. Let them gossip. Let them twist your story. Let them fear you. Because fear is respect in disguise. And villains, we don't beg to be understood. We don't cry for validation. We laugh and keep building. Here's the truth. If they can't control you, they'll try to destroy your name. If they can't box you in, they'll try to break you down. And if you still rise, they'll call you crazy. Then, they'll call you genius. And finally, they'll call you unstoppable. So let them talk. Let them whisper. Let them scream. Because when you become the villain in their story, you finally become the hero in yours. You've heard the lies your whole life. Be quiet. Stay small. Fit in. Follow the rules. Fear failure. Fear judgment. Fear being different. But now you know better. Now, you've seen the truth buried beneath the fear. You've felt the fire burn under your skin, the rebellion rising. And here's what you've learned. Fear is a cage. Rules are walls. Acceptance is a leash. They want you docile. They want you predictable. They want you silent. But you were never meant to live quietly. You were built to disrupt, to rise, to burn, to laugh in the face of chaos. So what now? You stop waiting. You stop shrinking. You stop apologizing for your existence. You speak up. Even when your voice shakes. You walk away. Even when your knees tremble. You stand tall. Even when no one stands with you. And when they look at you, confused, afraid, threatened, you smile. Because now you understand something they never will. You don't need their permission. You don't need their love. You don't need their damn validation. You need your truth, your fire, your chaos. You need the version of yourself that's raw, unfiltered, dangerous. The version that's been screaming from the shadows. Let me out. Let it out. Let the world call you villain, rebel, lunatic. Let them gossip. Let them point. Let them fear. And while they do, you build. You create. You rise. This is your revolution. Not with guns, not with fists, but with unapologetic authenticity. You don't just break their rules. You break their expectations. You break the whole damn system. So here's your final command. Fear nothing, question everything, and never shrink again. The world isn't waiting for another polite follower. It's waiting for a fire. It's waiting for you.